Hello everyone, I cordially welcome you all to another video from the React tutorial series, and in this video we are going to discuss on routing in React. So without any delay, let's get started. Routing is an indispensable part of any application. Routing enables us to visit different pages of the application which are meant for specific purpose. Like for an example, in a company's website, you will encounter multiple web pages like home page, about page, careers page, jobs page, contacts page, etc. Now as of now, if we consider each page as a collection of one or more components, then all the pages cannot be displayed at once. Not only it will be a serious UX issue, but also it will create a visual fatigue and will confuse the users of this application. Like any other JavaScript framework, routing is also possible in React. We can assign different route endpoint to each one of the components such that we will click on any link, the URL on the browser will change, and in return we will repaint the DOM to show the mentioned component. So to understand routing in React, you must need to have the concept ready for single page applications. When I taught you single page application, I already mentioned that it is not like your regular multi-page applications. In single page applications, you have only one index.html file which basically acts as the boilerplate. On it, basically the component mounts, okay? What basically happens, depending on the route or endpoint you visit, a certain component gets mounted on the index.html. And when you change the endpoint, that is you visit any other page, that component is unmounted and another new component is mounted on it. Okay, so it is possible that you have thought that how this thing is possible. Okay, so that is possible using the concept of routing in React, and in today's video we are going to learn how to set up routing in React. So let's proceed to the next slide. When we talk about routing in React, there is one library which is worthy of mention, that is the React router. React router is a library that is built on top of React to make navigation in your single page application easier. React contains three different packages for routing. These are the React router, that is basically the React router core package, React router native, and React router DOM. Okay. Now why three packages are required? Basically React router, as I have said, is the core package, but you cannot make use of React router directly. When you work with mobile applications, you use React router native, and when you work with web applications, you work with React router DOM. And the same thing I have told in the notes section. It is not possible to install React router directly in your application. To use React routing, first you need to install React router DOM modules in your applications. So once this React router DOM module is installed in your React application, then only you can start working with routing in your application. Okay, so we have done enough of theory. Let's go to VS Code and understand by an example. Welcome to VS Code. Here we are now going to discuss how we can set up routing in our React application. Okay, but before we set up routing, we need to create some custom components to mimic our production grade application. So what I have done, here you will see we have a components folder or a components directory. Within it we have three more components, that is about TSX, contact TSX, and home TSX. If I open each one of them, you will see they are simple function components which return only one h1 tag and the name of the page. So home page returns this is the home page, contact page returns this is contact page, about page return this is about page. But in your production grade application, basically these will be serious pages which will also have multiple small components in it. Okay, and we have imported it within our parent app.tsx. Now comes our main part. How do we set up routing in React? So as I have said, first we need to install React router DOM in our application. Here I have already installed, so I will not install it again, but I will show you how to do it. First of all, open your terminal and write npm install React router DOM. So once you have written npm install react router DOM, hit enter, and this will install the react router DOM module in your React application. But as I have already installed, I will not do the same thing again. Thereafter, we will import the following things: browser router as router, and I hope if you are aware about TypeScript, you basically understand this thing. Browser router as router, that means we are importing browser router and setting up router as its alias. Okay, we are importing routes, we are importing route, and we are importing link from it. Now this router, routes, route might seem a bit confusing to you, so let me explain each one of them in simple English. Basically, this browser router is the original thing which we are importing, and we are setting it up by an alias of router. Okay, because browser router is a big name. It's as simple as that. Now this browser router basically helps your application to work with routing. It basically controls your application's routing. Okay, what you simply need to do is basically wrap your component, that is the topmost component, using browser router. Okay, thereafter we come to the route. Now you will ask, what is route? Route basically helps to map the endpoint on the browser to the component that you want to display. Okay, then routes. Routes is basically a wrapper around route. It basically contains multiple route in it. Finally, we come to link. Link is basically helps you to create a certain text or certain image such that when you click on it, that component is unmounted and another component which it points to gets mounted. If this sounds a bit tough to you, don't worry, let me proceed. When we will run the code and see the output on the browser, it will be crystal clear to you. But as of now, just understand router is the parent controller for our routing. Route basically maps the endpoint to the component. Routes basically contains multiple route within it, and link basically helps you to navigate. That's it. Okay. Here we have our parent app component. Within it, we have our router. As I have said, to do routing in your React application, you have to wrap your component with router, and this router is basically nothing but the browser router. Okay. Within it, we have a div navigation, and here I have set up 3 navigations: link, to, the endpoint, and the text. Okay. Now this is where you need to understand. This basically means when you click on this home text, it will call this endpoint. And to this endpoint, whatever component will be patched, that component will be mounted. Okay. So when I talk about home, it will go to just single oblique, that is the root path. When I talk about contact, it will go to oblique contact. When I talk about, it will go to oblique about. Thereafter, we have multiple route, and this is where your actual routing takes place. So route contains a path and an element. So this path contains the endpoint to which this component maps. So basically what happens when you are on the home page, you click on contact, your address of the browser becomes the root address oblique contact. And when this becomes contact, see within route you say when path is this, element should be contact page. So as soon as you click on contact, the address becomes oblique contact, and this contact page is mounted on the browser. Same for about page, same for home page. And finally, as I have said, when we have multiple route, we wrap that within our parent routes. Okay. So let me again repeat what I have just said. Link basically contains to, which says when you click on the text or when you click on the image, what should be the endpoint. When you click on it and the endpoint gets triggered on the address bar of your browser, this route basically says to whichever path it matches, render that component. Suppose if you are in the home page, you click on contact, your address will become the root address oblique contact. And when this contact will be there, it will show that as this contact is basically now our current path, render this contact page. Okay. Now if this still sounds tough to you, let me run the code and then you will understand how this thing works. So I will open the terminal and write npm start to start our React application. Let's wait for some time until our application loads. So as you can now see, basically we are seeing localhost 3000. That is, this simply means we are in the root path. Okay. Now when I click on it, you see I am saying this is home page because we are currently in the root path. Now when I will click on about, you will see it will become localhost 3000 about. That will be done using link. And when this localhost 3000 becomes localhost 3000 about, you will see this is home page will not be there, and you will be seeing this is about page. So as I have just said, this is home page changes to this is about page. The reason is whenever you are clicking on any link, this address is changing, and when this address is changing, your route basically matches that endpoint with the component and mounts that component on the UI. So this is all about React routing. But there is a lot more and there is a lot to learn within React routing, but that is out of the scope for this video. We are soon planning to bring up a tutorial simply on React routing and how to handle multiple routes, and we will dive deeper into it. But as of now, this video should be enough if you want to learn routing within few minutes and get started with your React application. Okay, let's go back to our slide. I hope you found this video informative. In case you like it, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We are going to bring more videos in future. For any queries, doubts, suggestions or feedbacks, feel free to post them in the comment section. We are going to reply. So thank you for now. See you in the next video. Bye.